Hello and welcome back to Misrepresented. I'm your host, Lisa Opie, and I'm super excited because today we have one of my longtime pageant colleagues. I feel like I always see you at the
Right.
pageants. Jada Kelly, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay, so I love your dress. We do have to shout out PinkApple Dresses for dressing us today. I love
Right.
the blue
Love the
vibes.
vibrant.
Yes, this is
Yes.
like giving Versace.
It is. It has a
Right?
nice little gold accent,
It's
and I
so
love the built-in
pretty.
cups and the ribbing on the side.
Yeah, like snatched,
Mhm.
literally. And we match the background to
Yes.
our outfits. Okay, so I think I want to talk about pageants first, if that's
Okay.
okay, because that's kind of
Yes.
like where I know you from,
Mhm.
right? So, how did you get started in beauty pageants?
I started in pageants when I was 16 years old. I actually
Okay.
competed in the Miss Florida Teen USA pageant. First
Wow.
year go around, I was just there just for the experience. I grew up as a really shy child. I talked to absolutely no one at
Really?
all.
Why is
The
that?
grew up as the only child.
Okay. Were you
Yes.
homeschooled or
No,
anything,
I
or
wasn't
no?
homeschooled. I went to
Okay.
public school, but I was just still reserved into myself until
Okay.
I hit high school. And then I always grew up watching pageants. So I always had that interest, and people
Hmm.
always told me how, oh, you should model at a young age. But I mean, I didn't start doing pageants and modeling until I was in high school.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. But high school is a good time to start,
Right.
right?
It's getting into pageants really helped break me out my shell. I'm not so shy anymore.
Yeah.
And built up my confidence, made me be
For
able
sure.
to build communication skills and talk to many different people and make connections.
I think I relate to you so much because I was bullied in high school. First,
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
homeschooled, so already I had social
Yeah.
anxiety. And then I went to private school and then eventually public school. I
Hmm.
was so bullied, and I was like, I'm going to prove these bullies wrong.
Right,
So I did
right.
like Miss Teen Virginia or something,
Yeah.
just to like prove myself that I
Hmm.
could do it. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't
Yeah.
place, but I was like hooked, and I feel like it definitely brought me out of my shell.
Yeah, it's all about character development, especially when you're in your teens. You're trying to figure out who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, like my freshman year, I tried out for cheerleading. I did all these um, clubs, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to be more involved and be like, I can't be shy to the world for the rest of my whole life. Let me do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like out of all of the activities, do you feel like pageantry was the one that like really brought
Right.
you out?
Yes, just because I did my research on Instagram and
Mhm.
I found a girl, shout out to Ariel. She was one of my first pageant friends, and she went to a neighboring high school that I went to. And I
Okay.
hit her up. We were both cheerleaders. I went up to her
Wait, is it
during
Ariel Dairy?
no,
Oh, okay.
it's Ariel Owens.
No, I don't know
Okay.
him.
But I went up to her, I introduced myself. I was like, hey, you're Miss Tampa Bay Teen USA. Like, tell me about Miss Florida Teen USA. And
Wow.
then we competed together for 2 years. And then
Hmm.
we were able to, I had a friend. So it made me more comfortable competing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like so interesting in pageants how like it's not really like a competition against each other, but it's a
Right.
competition with each other, and you're
Right.
just experiencing it together.
Yes. Hmm.
So I love that. Most of the time there's no drama.
Hmm.
I watched you compete on Miss Earth USA. Congratulations on
Thank
top 5. You
you.
looked incredible. Okay, so first question, who did your gown? Because or are you selling it?
So I had 2 dresses. I had one
The
for
finals one.
the finals one. Okay, the finals dress is actually Albina Dyla, so you could
Okay.
probably order it still online.
Wow.
Yes, I love Albina so much. The couture fashion, I'm
Hmm.
into that side of pageantry these
Yeah.
days.
Wow. I mean, when I saw
Yeah.
you, I was like, oh, she's coming for
Oh,
the
thank
crown.
you. Yes.
And your onstage question, not onstage question, like
Yes.
the platform statement
Mm-hmm.
was so good. Like your delivery, like I think you did a really good
Thank
job. You couldn't tell you were
you.
nervous.
Oh, I was. I definitely was nervous.
Really?
Yes. Just because I took a pageant break. So I competed as a teen when
Hmm.
I was 16. I did that for 2 years, and then I took a break. Went to Miss Florida USA when I was 21.
Wait, how old are you
I'm
now?
24.
Okay.
Yes, and then I took a break just because that was my first year competing as a miss, and it's so different when you're competing from a teen as a miss.
Hmm.
So I took a step back, and I just really wanted to like, what else can I work on within
Yeah.
myself, and what can I study from the pageant? Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's a competition within yourself, and
100%.
especially if you want to level up in the pageant world, you need to be prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the best byproduct of competing in a pageant is that you just become this like winner in real life, right? Like you might
Right.
not win the pageant, but in the real
Right.
world, you are like beyond everybody
Hmm.
else. So
Yeah, and I'm all about building skill sets
I
and
yeah.
leveling up myself up.
I love that. So I feel like our like leeway into modeling would be Miss Vizcaya Swimwear, because that's like a pageant and like modeling. That's where I met you for the first time, I think.
Right, yes.
Yeah, what was that like?
Oh, I love Vizcaya just because the Vizcaya Swimwear pageant is not actually like a pageant that you have to prep for months in advance. It's more so just making friends, building connections, and having a good time.
Yeah.
It's more so modeling. So you're modeling a swimsuit, and it doesn't really matter about how you look. It's all about how confident you are in your own skin. And I love the friends and connections that I've made on that weekend. We've had so much fun, and the girls that I competed with, I still connect on Instagram to this day.
I love that. I feel like every generation of Miss Vizcaya Swimwear models, like they have their own little groups, and like they always do like their trips together. Like I think Angel, our last year's winner, is here right now with like a friend from Miss Vizcaya, and I'm like, I just love to see it.
I only competed for Vizcaya 1 year, and then I came back the following year to help one of the photographers out.
Team. That was so
I was
cool.
like, oh, I don't want to compete just because I already knew I was competing for Miss Earth USA.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I don't want to miss out on the fun. So how can I help?
That's how I am. Like, it's my favorite time of year, and I'm like, I don't want to miss out, so I just invite myself and show up at these events. They're probably like, who are you? And I'm like, oh, social media. Whatever. I try to help out where I can.
Anyway.
But you definitely like build your portfolio. I feel like with Vizcaya, you were in the calendar, right? You made top 12. Were you top 5 as well, or
no? I wasn't. I was just top 5. Top 12. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome though. You should have come back.
Maybe eventually.
Yeah, some way. So tell me about modeling. I feel like the first conversation I had with you, I don't even know if you remember, but you were shooting on the beach, and I was like introducing myself to everyone, and you were like, yeah, I'm a commercial model. Like, I literally do this for a living. And I was like, that's so cool. So tell me more about that.
All right. So I got into commercial modeling when I was 16. So pageants and modeling, they all happened so fast to me. But I started building up my portfolio when I was 16. And then I just started submitting my portfolio and headshots to a whole bunch of agencies. And I got signed very quickly and started working, doing lifestyle modeling. Lifestyle modeling is a lot different than fashion modeling.
Yeah.
I'm 5'4", petite.
I'm 5'4" too.
I love our short queens. We do big things. But so I do print work. So if a company wants me to sell their bikinis, for example, for Vizcaya, I will do a print photo shoot and do that. I've worked for many brands like Universal Studios and Coca-Cola. I've shot many international commercials. Through Publix. A lot of people have probably seen my face.
That's so
and they're like, you look familiar. I'm like, yeah, you probably have seen me from somewhere.
Like you actually do car commercials in Japan.
Yes, and from last year at the Vizcaya Swimwear photo shoot, actually, someone in the hotel, I think he was like just a Miami Swim Week photographer, and he heard me say my name. He was like, "Oh, I know you," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Wait, that's so cool. It's like that's when you know you made it.
Like like a mama, I made it moment. Like, oh my god, I'm getting known out here.
Wow. Yeah. What's the biggest job that you booked where you're like, I can't believe this is real life?
I'm probably just the Coca-Cola commercial for now. I believe that's huge, and it was print work, so I might still be on their actual website.
Wow.
So but I'm not sure. I haven't checked. A lot of work that I've done in the past is so hard for me to find. A lot of people actually will send me screenshots and be like, "Hey, is this you?" I'm like, "Oh my god, you found me!" Yeah,
because you just sign your life away, right? It's not like the brand send you anything.
Yeah. It's like with lifestyle modeling, they don't be like, here's your images back. It's kind of like whenever they release it, and sometimes they don't even release it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just like work that they passed up on, sadly. But I mean, I got paid for it, so it's nice either way.
I mean, I love your look. It's so unique. Tell us about your background.
So I'm Black and quarter Korean. My grandma is from South Korea.
Wow. Do you ever want to go to Korea?
Oh, I would love to go to Korea. I want to see my heritage and where my grandmother grew up. She still speaks Korean and goes to a Korean church to this day, and she cooks Korean food, and I love kimchi so much. So I love kimchi. I want to live and devour myself into my own heritage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm half Japanese, but I love the Korean culture as well, and I feel like Korean food is so good, like bulgogi.
Yes,
kimchi,
that's my favorite. Japchae.
Yes.
I have yet to been to like a K hot pot restaurant yet, sadly, just because my grandma, she's still here. I mean, she cooks authentic food, so why
Wow.
not get
Lucky.
it authentically?
Wow. So tell me about your pageants, because now you're doing Miss Mississippi USA,
Yes,
and we
I
can talk about that,
am.
right? Because you just
Yes.
announced it like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your expectations and your goals from this pageant? I know you want to win, but any like new transformations, new growth? Like, what are you working on?
Well, coming just off of the Miss Earth USA stage and placing fourth runner up, I feel like I'm like on fire.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, what
The pageant bug.
What else can I do? And I represented the state of Mississippi at Miss Earth USA, and everyone's just like, Jada, like, go do it, go do it, go do it. At first, I was like, I don't know if I should do this or not, just because post-pageant depression kind of is a thing. At first, I was like, I just invested all my time, money, energy, and been prepping for this for like the past year, and I only placed fourth runner-up. Like, come on, you know? But I was like, okay, let me just gather my strength, my confidence. Let me push myself a little bit harder and see what I can actually do.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to Miss Mississippi USA full of confidence. I'm still planning training, interview coaching. I feel like it's just
it's like the next
about
step
growth.
In your journey, right?
Next step in my journey.
How do you feel about the age limit being removed and the marriage restrictions being removed from Miss USA? Do you think that's going to affect your competition, or are you excited about it?
I'm so excited to see all these different women from all walks of life coming to join this pageant system and the sisterhood. I mean, it's so inspiring because every woman always has some type of story and some type of connection. And you never know who you're going to encounter in your life. Like, all my friends are way older than me. Like, my best friend, she's 30. I'm so excited to see who I can cross paths with.
I love that. I think that's so empowering. So you're in nursing school right now.
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. How far along are you?
I have 1 more year left.
Okay. Is there any like specific like area that you want to go into?
Yes, so I have an esthetician background. So I love everything about skincare.
Ooh.
I would love to become a dermatology nurse just so I can further my career in skincare and really deep dive into maybe even aesthetic nursing and work at a med spa one day.
Oh my gosh, please. I don't know if you can tell, but I love med spa.
Right. I love it too.
I love my Botox and filler.
I'm not judging. I get it done too.
I love that. That's so exciting. So you're a licensed esthetician right now. Tell me, like, give us some skincare advice. Like, what is the best, I guess, product that we can use? Because right now TikTok is going crazy with these trends, right? Like, they have like the high frequency ones, they have tretinoin. I think those two are like really good, but like, give us some advice. Help us out.
All right. Well, my favorite skincare in general would just be hydration. Hydration is key for amazing skin. In my esthetician background, I mainly do wedding makeup. So I've seen that the problem with people's skin is that they're dry. And that also is a problem when you put on makeup. So invest in the hyaluronic acid, invest in the snail mucin.
Really? The snail mucin for real?
Yes. Get it. Trust me. Even the snail mucin mask, put it on for 10 minutes. Your skin will feel nice, supple, and smooth after.
What's like the best brand for snail mucin?
Ooh, honestly,
or like the TikTok one? Like, should I just buy that one?
Yes,
the viral one?
Yes, the viral one. If you're looking for hyaluronic acid, I suggest anything that's over 70%.
Okay.
Anything less, it's watered down.
Okay.
Put it on at night so you're sleeping and it seeps into your skin. But hydration is key.
Oh yeah. Water is the fountain of youth.
Yes,
I'm just like looking at my water bottle over there, and I haven't even opened it yet, and it's like 2 p.m. I need to drink water.
Yeah, I mean, water is important too. And stay out the sun, wear your sunscreen.
Oh my gosh. It's like these things are so much easier said than done. I feel like, but to fight aging, we have to do what it takes.
Right.
I'm not going down without a fight.
Right.
So tell me about makeup. I know that you do
Mhm.
makeup for weddings, and it led to another endeavor. So tell me all
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah, so my mom is a licensed cosmetologist. She's been doing weddings for over 15 years.
And she did your
now.
makeup today,
She
right?
did.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yes, she's my fairy godmother, mother, my
Fairy
mom.
glam mother.
Yes, my momager. She does everything behind the
love it.
scenes for me, and I'm so grateful for her.
Yeah.
But we've been working together doing weddings, and she's taught me everything about makeup. So, but when I've been doing weddings, it opened up a new door for me. I've opened up two businesses, a baking business called Baking Beauty Co. and an event planning business for brides, and that's called Hot Love.
Oh my gosh, Hot Love.
Yes.
Which one came first?
The baking business.
And tell me why. Tell me how you got started. Was it like something that kind of fell on your lap and like took off?
Well, the baking business started during COVID.
Okay.
When everything was shut down, my mom's best friend, her birthday popped up Cinco de Mayo, and she was so sad that she couldn't celebrate her birthday. And she wanted to have like a little house party. So she was like, well, I can't order a cake. I was like, well, I got you. I'm going to make you a cake.
Oh my god.
I've been baking since I was little, like just cupcakes. And I started selling like brownies in high school that actually I made enough money to put towards a car.
What?
Yeah. I've always been a natural born hustler.
I love
but
it.
I never took the baking seriously until COVID. And then I posted my first cake, and people started on Instagram started replying like, hey, this is actually pretty good. Like maybe you should like do more about do more with this. I was like, I don't know. So I started, and like the first couple cakes were, I mean, like decent, but now I'm pretty much like an expert. I at least get like 4 cake orders a month, which I mean is not serious for a real baker, but for a little side hustle, it's nice.
Yeah, like it can go towards the pageant
right
fund.
right. I just had a photo shoot, and I had my photo shoot money went straight to that.
Of course. Yeah. I love that though, I love that you're like taking, business into your own hands and making your own money, because I feel like that's really important as a woman. So now tell me about the event planning. So how did that come about?
Right. So I've always been invested in the event planning process, just because when I go to a wedding, the makeup artist and the hairstylist are always the first vendor that the bride sees. And I always see behind the scene things that the wedding planner doesn't see when they're getting ready.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then like whenever the wedding planner comes and then they like introduce themselves, or they're like, hey, so it's gonna rain today, like what do you want to do? I'm always there like doing makeup, like, oh, I feel so bad.
Oh my gosh, what do they do?
Well, I mean, it's a tough situation for a wedding planner and a bride. Usually you have to give the positive and the negatives and be straightforward with the bride and be like, hey, so if you want to be in the rain, you risk getting everything wet, or you risk not having music
like
and the
pictures.
DJ, right?
And
sometimes the bride will risk that just for.
So you've seen like brides get married in the rain,
right? Yeah, sadly. But I mean, that's a tough situation about the wedding planning business. But I wanted to be an event planner just to get myself into that role, just so I could, if I book a bride, I could be there, be like, I see a little bit extra that the wedding planner doesn't see.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just starting into this, so I've only been wedding coordinating as of now, which is still very important.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much like your day of planner. So I'm like, do this, setting out a timeline and schedule for you, which is very important. I've been doing it for my close friends, which is nice.
Yeah, and like I'm sure you know what they want and everything like that. Yeah. When I got engaged, I was so overwhelmed because I'm like, I've never been married before. I don't know how to get married. I don't know how any of this works, you know? So it's probably really good to have like a planner that's like, okay, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some type of guidance is always nice.
Yeah. So what is like, if you won like Miss USA or even Miss Universe, like what would you do with your reign?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It's almost like a pageant on stage question.
Yes. I would just love to make the connections and be able to spread the message that you can definitely follow your dreams. Whatever you have your mind set on, go ahead and do it. I always get asked a lot, how do you juggle all these different jobs that you do? I'm like, well, honestly, if I think about doing it, then I just don't ponder on it. I just go ahead and do it. Like, you can't just sit there and think about, well, all the negatives, it won't get done.
Yeah, you just get stressed out,
right.
and it's like a
You'll
downward
stress
spiral. What's your
yourself
sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be like a Capricorn or like an Earth
No.
sign or something, because
Yeah.
like the hustle.
Right, but no, you just have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll even write it down on a piece of paper. I'm really big into manifestation, so if I want it, I'll write it down in past tense, like I already have it or achieved it, and I'll just like set it to the side and then write down every step of like, how do I get here, like the starting points.
I love that.
And then like a couple of months or weeks that have passed, I'll go back and be like, okay, I did this, this, and this. Oh, I missed this step. Let me go back and fix this. Or let me go back and do this so I can accomplish this.
I love that. And that applies to like every single one of those things that you have going on.
Right. And you can do that for pretty much anything in life, school, work, your dreams.
Is there anything that you've like manifested and you saw it like come to reality? I'm sure there's a lot, but give me one example where you're like, oh my god.
Honestly, pretty much everything in my life. My mom says I have lucky girl syndrome.
It's a real thing.
Yes.
It is for real.
Yes, like, I mean, not to brag, but I have a Tesla as my first car.
Oh my god.
So I definitely manifested that. I manifested myself going to Mississippi, USA. Well, my friends did. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Like, even though I've doubted my own goals, but like in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, it's happening.
Yes.
Like,
oh my god.
Like, you have to believe it.
So when is the pageant?
It's April 4th through 6th.
Okay. Oh, that's coming up really soon. But you're still like, you know, in pageant mode. Like you just competed 3 months ago. So it'll be a smooth, easy. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we're gonna do a fun like this or that round, and I don't have my cell phone with me, so I'm gonna try to remember what I wrote down. Okay, so the first one is gonna be pizza or sushi for a night in.
Sushi.
Okay. Are you a beach or mountains girl?
Beach.
Pageant stage or modeling runway?
Pageant stage.
Skincare or makeup?
Skincare. I was like, that's hard.
I have to say I'm probably makeup. I do love skincare. It's important, but if I had to choose between the two, I'm like, you can cover anything with makeup.
No, with makeup, I usually stick to what I know and like my routine. I stick to that, but skincare, I like to explore that.
What is your like skincare routine right now? Like, what did you do last night and what did you do this morning?
Ooh, okay. So I use Sanita's and Dermalogica skincare brand. Okay. So I kind of switch between the two face washes, kind of depending if I'm like breaking out or if I'm not.
Is it the Dermalogica microfoliant?
Yes, I love that exfoliator. Only use it at least once or twice a week though. Okay. don't over exfoliate your skin. You'll dry yourself out, okay?
Oh my gosh.
But I love the micro exfoliant. That's my favorite exfoliator ever because it's rice based. It's really just soft and gentle on the skin.
It makes your skin feel amazing.
Yes. And then I love using vitamin C. And then hyaluronic acid and moisturizer.
Are you into like retinol at all or not yet?
Not yet. I feel like you don't really need it unless you have more mature skin.
Okay. How do you feel about like Gen Z being so obsessed with skincare? And there's like these TikToks coming out that they're aging faster. Is that true?
Honestly, I haven't even thought about using like skincare and making you age faster. I don't know if that correlates in a way, honestly.
But like they look older than like millennials is what people are saying. So like I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, I love the fact that they're so invested in their skincare because that means they're invested in themselves and self-care. But I don't know if that even correlates.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone's saying it's because it's all the drunk elephant. When you're like 16, you don't need it. But I'm like, I don't know.
If anything, it should be preventing the wrinkles. And
the
aging.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes. Last question because you're into cakes. Fondant or frosting?
Ooh, frosting.
Really?
Yes. I think it tastes better.
It tastes better. Yes. But fondant, I feel like it looks better. No?
It does.
But it definitely doesn't taste good. The texture for me.
Yeah, I'm a taste person. I mean, it could look ugly, but as long as it tastes good.
Same. I don't care what it looks like. So thank you so much for coming on. Where can we
thank
follow your
you.
journey on Instagram?
You can follow me at the Jada Kelly, THEE, Jada Kelly.
Perfect. And Miss Mississippi USA soon, next month, right?
Yes, fingers
Manifesting
crossed.
that for you.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for tuning in, you guys, and we'll see you next time.